Welcome dear students. Today we have discussed about the Indian coming budget expectations. As you know, the Indian budget for 2025 will be a detailed financial plan for the country, outlining how the government intends to allocate funds for various sectors, manage fiscal policy, and boost the country's overall economy. The Union Budget is presented annually by the Finance Minister in Parliament, typically in February. However, since the budget hasn't been officially presented yet, as of early 2025, we can discuss the general process, what the key components usually include, and what we might expect based on current trends and needs. Key components of the Indian Union Budget. Revenue and expenditure estimates. Revenue, this includes both tax revenue, like income tax, GST, corporate tax, and non-tax revenue, like dividends from public sector enterprises, interest, and fees. Expenditure, this refers to how much the government plans to spend in different sectors, like defense, education, healthcare, infrastructure, and social welfare schemes. Fiscal deficit. The fiscal deficit is the gap between the government's revenue and its expenditure. The government usually sets a target for reducing the fiscal deficit over time to ensure fiscal responsibility and stability. Tax proposals. The Finance Minister may propose changes in direct and indirect taxes. This could include adjustments in income tax slabs, corporate tax rates, GST rates, or new tax provisions aimed at encouraging savings, investment, or specific economic activities. Sectoral allocations. A major portion of the budget is allocated to key sectors such as agriculture, infrastructure, health, education, defense, and social welfare. Focus on infrastructure development is a priority in recent years, including investments in road networks, railways, ports, and airports. Digitalization and green energy initiatives are also expected to get significant funding to promote sustainable growth. Subsidies and welfare schemes. India has several welfare schemes, such as the PM Kisan Yojana for farmers or the PM Awas Yojana for housing. These schemes may see an increase in allocation to ensure the socio-economic upliftment of the population. Disinvestment and privatization. The government often announces plans for privatization or disinvestment in public sector undertakings, PSUs. This is to raise funds for the government and make the economy more market-driven. Borrowing and debt management. In order to bridge the gap between revenue and expenditure, the government may borrow both domestically and internationally. Debt management is critical to ensure that borrowing does not become unsustainable. Focus on economic growth. The budget will include measures to boost economic growth, including initiatives to support manufacturing, exports, job creation, and investment in the digital economy. Social sector. The budget also typically addresses challenges related to unemployment, poverty, and inequality. This includes funding for employment schemes, health insurance, rural development, and education. Expectations for the 2025 budget. Green economy initiatives. With India's climate goals in focus, we may see more significant investments in renewable energy, like solar and wind power, electric vehicles, and green technology. Digital transformation. As the country's digital infrastructure continues to evolve, there will likely be more investments in 5G AI, blockchain, and cybersecurity. Agriculture support. With rural distress and agrarian challenges still ongoing, agriculture is expected to get a significant focus. Farmers could expect more support for irrigation, crop insurance, and new technology. Middle class relief. The government may introduce tax relief measures for the middle class, such as raising the income tax exemption limit or providing deductions for certain expenses like education and health. Defense budget. Given the geopolitical tensions in the region, the defense sector may receive increased funding for modernization and procurement of advanced technologies. Focus on infrastructure. Infrastructure development, particularly in sectors like transportation, housing, and smart cities, could see major investments to boost economic activity and employment. Job creation and MSMEs. The government may implement policies to support MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises, and create more employment opportunities, especially for the youth and in sectors that are labor-intensive. Health sector. With the lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic, we might see increased budgetary allocation for healthcare infrastructure, rural healthcare, and access to affordable medicines. Potential challenges. Managing inflation. Inflation remains a critical challenge, and the budget will need to focus on measures to curb rising prices of essential goods and services without compromising growth. Fiscal responsibility. The government may face pressure to maintain fiscal discipline while also addressing pressing economic challenges. Striking a balance between spending for growth and reducing the deficit will be important. Global economic uncertainty. External factors such as global inflation, commodity price fluctuations, and supply chain disruptions could affect India's economic outlook. Overall, the 2025 Union Budget will be crucial for India's long-term economic trajectory. It will likely emphasize inclusive growth, sustainability, digitization, and infrastructure development while also addressing immediate challenges such as inflation, unemployment, and social inequalities. We can expect a mix of fiscal prudence and bold reforms aimed at transforming the Indian economy into a more resilient and competitive global player. Once the budget is officially presented, we'll know more about the exact allocations and measures. Would you like a deeper dive into any specific area or sector? Okay, our next class will be another important economic concept. Thanks and regards, ECC team.